Very
So,
smith.
yummy-like.
Indeed.
Did you know that?
Sorry?
You're everywhere in the newspapers.
So I'm told. I just got out of bed, so I'm kind of still processing it all. But,
Can you talk about that awesome scene between Hermione and Bellatrix when she's there writing Mudblood on your arm?
yeah.
It was really powerful.
Thank you very much. It was very weirdly affecting to do that scene. It was quite horrible. I think Helena said to me afterwards, she was like, I really didn't enjoy doing that. I really didn't. I was like, well, and she usually gets very into all of that kind of evil stuff, but I think she felt quite uncomfortable. But actually the Mudblood idea wasn't something that was written in the script. It's something that Helen and I came up with, because I was like, well, if she's just kind of like doing a spell on me, then obviously, I can make it look like it's painful, but I think it would be really powerful to have something that the audience can actually like physically see.
Yeah.
So the Mudblood we came up with Mudblood, and we sat there on set designing what Bellatrix's handwriting would look like for like 40 minutes, and we were like, we think that's what she would write like. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. We had a lot of fun.
Yates said on the set a few months ago that when you guys did that, it was very the cast and crew, everyone felt very awkward because it felt so real.
Everyone did feel very awkward. It's funny, Carlotta, who's my great friend and who did my hair and makeup for the whole movie, she was like, she bolted for the door. She like really wanted to come in and save me, and someone had to be like, just because I did one take. I did one take, and David let the camera roll for like 2 minutes. And just left me there screaming. So when I looked at the edit, I was like, well, fair enough, you can't have 2 minutes of me screaming, but I was like, I did that a lot longer than it was actually shown. But no, I think it was quite disturbing for the crew, which I was pleased about, obviously, because it showed I was doing a good job. But I think it wasn't a fun day for everyone on set.
Was that the hardest scene you had, or was it another one?
Actually, weirdly, I had been thinking about it for months. And so when I finally came to it, it was like I'd built up all this stuff that I wanted to exercise and just kind of didn't really... It was like an out-of-body experience. It's really weird. I just kind of did it. And David was like, okay, great, we're done here.
Is there any particular scene in any of the films that you would like to go back and reshoot, even if it's as a different character?
Oh, that's interesting. As a different character?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a question. I'd love to go... I'd love to play... I actually had a really good time playing the evil Hermione in Ron's Vision. So I'd quite like to go back and play a bad guy for once. I think that would be fun.
Dan commented in the BBC interview that apparently you're quite a fiery kisser.
So I hear. I keep hearing, like, journalists keep bringing this up with me, and I don't really know what to say. I think for the scene, it obviously had to be something that would disturb Ron, that would make him really jealous, and that would make him upset. So I think the kiss had to be passionate from Hermione's end. As for whether I myself, I think he called me an animal, even.
Yeah,
I think I read in one interview. I guess I should just take it as a compliment.
Out with Dan at this point, because obviously you've had a chance to talk to him since the publicity on that has started.
Well, I said to him last night, I was like, you've been telling everyone I pounced on you, and I was really... He was like, I didn't use those words, I just said you were... And I was like, whatever, Dan.
But that could be a good thing,
It could, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm taking it as a compliment. He said, no, I gave you 10 out of 10 for kissing. I was like, all right, well, as long as it's positive, I guess it's fine.
You seem to take all that stuff in stride. How have you learned that? How do you treat all this media stuff with great intelligence?
It's experience. I'm 20 years old now, and I was 9, 10 when I went into my first press conference. So you just get used. It's not worth it. It takes too much emotional energy to get upset every time something's written that you don't want to see. You just have to let it go. I would be a crazy person.
Did you realize that early on?
Maybe I am a crazy person, but
Did you realize that early on?
it took me a while to figure that one out, actually, and I'm still very. I mean, I would be lying if I said I didn't still get upset. I do still get upset, but I just don't care quite so much, which is good. I learn. I don't know. I mean, things still get misquoted all the time. And there's so much information out there about me. You'd think it would be very easy to check facts, but
Not to worry, because we won't do any of that.
Oh, well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
You do get to write from your first-person perspective about being at Brown now, and I hope that is kind of the one in the article that you did for Parade, I think it was. About being at Brown.
Oh, I just did the interview. I didn't write it.
Okay.
Oh, down first person idea. No, that was just an interview.
Well, how has your experience, living in America now? Because you've been there, what, a year or two? Do you feel sort of American now? Or do you feel like the English person?
It's really weird, actually. When the American press came in on day 2, I suddenly perked up and kind of felt quite at home. I was quite happy to hear some American accents. It was really weird, whereas normally that would feel really foreign, but I was like, oh, the American press, hello. So it's funny. It has become a second home to me, and I do really love it. I'm very happy. I could very easily see myself splitting my time between New York and London.
Why did you choose to go to the States over a university here? Because I'm sure you could get in anywhere.
Oh, I'm sorry. Have I not put this on very well?
No, that's okay. It's fine.
Oh, just stop playing with the wire. No, for a number of reasons. A friend of mine went over to university in the States, and when he was telling me about the fact that he was able to study more than one subject at a time, and that it was much more open and broad, that really appealed to me. And then also I'm much more anonymous in the States, and I needed a change. I needed a fresh start, somewhere where I could go and feel like I could really reinvent myself, and that's what Brown has been for me.
So, would you still think of an acting career, or is it still up in the air?
No, I definitely, and this film's given me a lot of confidence. I just did a movie called My Week with Marilyn, which is a Weinstein production with Eddie Redmayne and Michelle Williams, and that went really well. And no, I think I will keep acting. I think I'd like to make, maybe one movie a year or something, nothing, that kind of, just especially until I'm done with Brown, definitely, because it's really hard. It's really exhausting trying to juggle the two. It takes
Are you
a lot.
having to miss a lot of classes because of your filming schedule and stuff? And how do you kind of juggle school?
I'm missing 2 weeks of school because I'm here doing this, but you just have to be really organised with your time, and I tell professors in advance that I have to leave for this period of time, and I hope they'll understand. And I think I have to work hard to earn that kind of trust and respect, that they allow me to do that. I have to show them that I'm a hard worker and that I take my studies seriously, because otherwise they wouldn't let me do it. So I kind of, the beginning of the semester is all about me being, getting good grades, so that they're like, okay, you can go up and do whatever it is you have to do.
You declared a major?
Yes, I've declared history as my major.
American history?
I'm not sure. I like modern history, but I don't really want. I don't know. I will have to choose a specific area at some point, but not for a little while yet.
Can you talk a little bit about your dance sequence with Dan? Is he a naturally gifted dancer, or did you have to show him some moves, and was it all choreographed?
As much as I love Dan, he's not a naturally gifted dancer.
That's not what you'll say.
Really, that's not what I'll say. I don't know. I think he knows, but it was perfect for the scene. It wasn't meant to look perfectly. It was meant to look silly and spontaneous. Thanks. I love to dance.
Three of you really showed your acting in this movie. It really comes out. What does Yates bring to that?
The thing about working with David Yates is that you always hear this word like truth, and finding the truth, and it being honest and real, and he really hates anything false, or he wants it to be from the heart, and So I think that made me a better actress. Especially, at the very beginning, I felt I was playing such a character, and when I was playing Hermione, I could like really put on this act and become this kind of like big personality, and kind of use that to avoid being as truthful. And then he just said, just do it from here. Just forget all of that stuff. Just be honest. And that's what I tried to do, and I think it made a difference.
Your character spends most of his film just being Ron. So that's a different experience from previous.
You know what? It was so nice not having the whole infrastructure of having, the castle and the school year, and I mean, as much as it's been amazing to work with this older talent, it can become quite stilted having all of these kind of like barriers in place. And it's just nice for it just to be the three of us, and it to be about us and what we could give, and it was, I loved that.
We know you always said you wanted Ron and Hermione to end up together as a couple. Which of all the scenes that came in was your favorite to film?
Sorry?
Which of all the scenes with Ron and Hermione
was it my favorite to film?
Was your favorite to film?
There's the scene where we go off together to get the Basilisk Fang in part 2 to go and like destroy the Horcrux, and we go off on this little like adventure together, and it's kind of like a comedy act because it's the first time you see Hermione and Ron like in tune. We're usually so like offbeat, we always like we're gonna miss each other, and we're not really we kind of clash, and then in this one scene we just like we're this real team, and it's so funny, and we're both so into it, and there are just like a couple of really funny comedy moments, and I just really enjoyed work. Like Rupert's a great comedic actor, and so we had a really good time, just really wringing the humor out of everything that we could.
Did you get to revisit those old Chamber of Secrets sets?
We did, yeah, which was really weird actually, because we haven't, those scenes haven't been built.
Something that's gone off. Sorry, she just wanted to be born. I'm here as a monster as well. Sorry.
That's right.
Hallows Pt.1.
Your opening scene with the parents, or with Hermione's parents. I mean, you almost had me crying like right at the beginning of the movie, and I just thought that was touching. The look on your face when your character has to do what she does to them, that was just so emotional.
Thank you.
For you, was that a challenge for you to kind of do that, because it was so real?
Thank you. It was a challenge. I mean, I don't want to get too heavy, but being from a family that's been split up, I know what it's like to I don't know, walk away from coming in between two different families. It's hard. So I guess I use some of that. Thank you.
When we see all those, your old, like, in the film, Hermione's baby pictures,
yeah.
is that clever Photoshop wizardry, or are they actually...
No, they were actually my baby pictures. And there's one with me with this, it was my favourite thing. I had this towel with bunny rabbit ears on it. And there's a picture of that, which I didn't know which ones they were going to use. They just asked my dad if they could have some pictures of me when I was a kid, and he handed some over. So it's very weird seeing those like real pictures mixed in with these fake parents.
Are you getting nostalgic, or you when you wrap the movie in guys emotional? Can you describe that?
The best scene.
I feel like, sorry not to be rude, I feel like I've answered this question a million times, and it never gets easier or it never gets like clearer or easier really to answer. And it's hard for me to answer because I still don't really know how I feel about it. I'm still processing it. So to give you an answer is actually quite hard. I have days where I feel relieved, and I have days where I feel like very sad. And I have days where I'm so excited to have, because this just took up my life, all of my time, my life revolved around Harry Potter. That was the focal point of my existence. And it's exciting now that I'm like, I have this time, I can accept other things. I mean, I know the grass is always greener, but there were so many moments. There were moments when I was making this when I was like, God, I wish I could go and do that, or something would come up, and now I have time to go and do different things. So it's exciting too. So it's a real. I swing kind of like a pendulum back and forth between all these different emotions.
When you wait for a call sheet in the morning when you get up
I'll miss those pieces of paper. We had a few of them. Yeah, no, I will. It's very weird.
Did you use the dialogue all the time on you, or was it always the same? You could just really.
Well, actually, by the end, Dan, Rupert, and I would switch, like, rewriting our dialogue, just because I would read something and I would immediately say, "She wouldn't say that. She wouldn't say that." And luckily enough, having played her for 10 years, Steve Clovis and David trusted in me enough, I guess, to give me the freedom to really do that, which was nice. I don't think I'll ever have that chance again, so it was nice.
Even though the trio of you have preceded the whole Twilight thing, I couldn't help but think when I was watching it last night, the whole camping scene kind of reminded me of the whole, team
off-road.
Jacob and
yes. Oh, I didn't think of that connection. Oh yes, there is that comparison. Oh no.
Looks like you were looking at the headlines as you thought about that.
I know, I am. I'm like calculating the comparisons that will be made. It used to be like comparisons to Lord of the Rings, and now Twilight's kind of stepped into that, like, that breach of, being compared. So.
Is it kind of awkward because you have known these guys, they're almost probably like your brothers at this point.
Yeah.
To have kind of a more intimate thing going on.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was, really horrible. I felt incredibly awkward. It was not something I was. It was, yeah. I don't know, but it looked good. It looked. We somehow managed to make it look realistic. So I was like proud of myself that I managed to power through and be professional. So it's good.
Did you have fun last night at the premiere?
I did a lot. I'm feeling a little bit tired today, but yeah, I did have a lot of fun. It was really nice to hear positive reactions. I don't know. Obviously everyone's going to be a little bit biased when they're speaking to me in person about whether they like the movie or not, but generally people seem to really like the movie. So that was. Thank you. Oh, good.
Well, it stands alone too, doesn't it?
It does.
It's a separate movie, and it doesn't necessarily have a Potter stamp. It could have been by itself.
Oh, I'm glad you said that. I'm actually really glad you said that. That was one thing I was worried about. I was watching it and I was worried that people wouldn't understand if they hadn't seen, the 6 that came before. But that's
Did you
great.
find the pacing different because it's 2 films? I did watching it. I didn't get film 6. It's too confusing for an old man like me. But
No.
this one kind of was a bit more indulgent with its timing, more European sort of.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It was nice to feel like there were times when I felt like I was being sped through my lines a bit like, kind of like, we've got so much to fit in, can you talk faster please, type thing. And I'd be like, oh. It was nice to luxuriate in having, it was nice to feel like I had space. And you're right about that timing thing. And the lovely thing about it as well was that shooting, I said the lovely thing about it, it was ball breaking, but the lovely thing about doing 2 back-to-back was that we picked up a kind of momentum and a kind of rhythm, and we were really like into the work and very in our characters, and there was a real fluidity to what we were doing. So I think that made a really good movie, because the biggest problem that we have on Potter is that we have so many special effects, and we have animals, and we have hundreds of actors and this huge cast. Is that I can feel hovering at my shoulder. Hello. Is that it just gets so slow, and for us as actors, the biggest challenge is like keeping each take fresh and real and new, because when it's moving that slow and you've been hanging around in a trailer for 3 hours and you've done it for like the 7th time, it's really hard to bring something fresh. So it was really nice to have that like momentum and the kind of chaos of trying to shoot 2 in one time. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks everybody.
Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Don't forget your mic.
Oh, yeah, and your test.
Wrong way.